James is a hard worker. He gets up early and goes to work, and he's fairly successful at his job. His coworkers like him, and his family enjoys him. And we get to home, he's tired, but he puts in the work to care for his family and to love his family. And over again, he tries his best. But in the evening, he feels exhausted, and more, he's feeling more like a shell of himself. Like, he tries his best, but he can't quite do it. He bursts out in anger from time to time, and afterwards he feels so ashamed at what he's done because he knows that's not what he's supposed to do. He tries his best to meet the expectations of his kids, his wife, the expectations of himself, the expectations of his boss, but also the expectations of God. And he can't quite do it. Suddenly, tears he has kept back for so long well up inside him. And he mumbles through his tears, "I'm so tired. I can't do it. I'm empty, weary, and alone." You probably could give him a Bible verse or two about how God is with him and experience joy. James probably could have quoted these exact same Bible verses to himself, but he doesn't need words on a page right now, because unfortunately that's all that those would be if we just quoted Bible scriptures at him. What he needs to experience is the love of God. The way that we experience God's love most profoundly is often through other people. Jesus, again and again, he commands his people to love one another. And when we love one another, that's when we can see God. James is a fictional character that I made up, but his story is true for maybe for us, maybe for you, maybe for many of our people in our groups, whether they've been there before or whether they're leading up to that point, or maybe some of them are in that point right now. And they need to experience the love of God. A small group that meets once a week and uses Christianese to superficially talk about the Bible and things that they've heard since Sunday school isn't really what's going to help them. What's going to help them is to build a place, an environment where people can be vulnerable. That doesn't mean sharing the deepest, darkest secrets of our lives, but maybe that does. But more likely it means being okay to share that we're struggling. That to share a little bit of vulnerability and to invite people into our weariness, our emptiness. And as we do that, the grace of God can come in. Because the hero is not your care group. Your care group can't transform somebody's life, but your care group can point people to Jesus, who can transform lives. And that's often the way God likes to move, is in small groups. So I encourage you, your group has the potential to care and love for James, or for the struggling mom who doesn't know what to do with their kids, or the person who's going through sickness and illness, or the person who's so weary and lonely from COVID all these years. It may be difficult, you may have to try something new or different, but you as a care group leader have the potential to show people that God loves them in their weariness, in their mess, in their failures, and that his grace is sufficient. Your prayer groups